Welcome to a special Jace Media music video interview. I am your host, Justin Spolison, proud Jace contributor from across the pond. I am delighted to present an interview with my friend right over here, Mr. Robert Majd. He is the driving force behind one of my favorite groups, Captain Blackbeard. Fantastic AOR rock and roll out of Sweden. The brand new album from Captain Blackbeard is Chasing Danger. It is available worldwide from our brilliant friends at Mighty Music. You are hearing a clip of one of the singles, AI Lover. That's a fun one. We're going to talk about this song and some other singles that have been released off Chasing Danger and what it was like to produce this album with a new lineup and get those new energies flowing. And we're also going to talk about Robert's work as the bassist in Metalite, what it was like for Metalite to tour with one of my favorite groups, the Night Flight Orchestra. And speaking of which, Robert is also the band leader for Nighthawk, which has a brand new album coming out, and they are fronted by Bjorn of the Night Flight Orchestra. And Robert is also the co-producer of fantastic classic metal group Weapon, so we're going to talk about that as well. There's so much to discuss. Robert is a big inspiration. He's got a lot of positivity. I think you're all going to love it. Let's get to it. Jace Media music audiences worldwide, please welcome from Captain Blackbeard, Robert Majd. Right, I'm joined by one of my favorite musicians, super nice guy, all around. Here he is, Mr. Robert Majd. Hello, Robert.
Thank you. Hi, how are you?
Good, man. It's always great to see you. I talk to you at least once a year because you've always got something happening. And we're delighted now that the new album from Captain Blackbeard, Chasing Danger, is out now, right?
Yes. Well, I try to release 2 albums a year, so I get to talk to you more often than once a year.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. That's why I do my albums.
You do. Hey, you got to do them for the fans. And if some of the fans can get you on, get you out there a little bit more, then great. So this album follows up from, I'm trying to remember what year it was, 2022, when Neon Sunrise came out.
Yeah.
So 3 years later, lineup change, new singer, a slightly different vibe because of new lineup, right? So tell us what brought about Chasing Danger.
Well, usually we try to release a new album every second year. But after the Neon Sunrise, we had some things were going good. We had some success with that album, but unfortunately, our singer felt due to personal reasons and family stuff, he needed to step away from the band, and we were really disappointed, obviously. But there was no bad blood. It was just he was
it was
nice about it. Yeah, he did all the shows we had booked, and then he was out, and you have to respect that.
Sure.
And at first we weren't sure if we were going to continue, but then we stumbled upon Frederick, who's an amazing singer, and that gave us a feeling like, maybe we can even make a better album than the last one, and that's always an exciting idea. Right. I think Christian dropped out of the band, sort of the same reason, he lost the enthusiasm for it.
Okay.
And to be honest, so did I then, but Daniel wouldn't have it. He was like, "We got Frederick. Let's go get your act together." And I was like, "Okay, let's see where we end up." And then as soon as we started writing, it was the enthusiasm was back because of the material and everybody was really chipping in to make the best possible album. And I think we felt more that we had something to prove, but not to someone else, maybe to ourselves. This has to be really good. Otherwise, there's no point in continuing with as Blackbeard with all the lineup changes. We could just as well form a new band.
Right.
And that's also why there's 3 years between the albums, because of the lineup changes and the focus on making a good album and all of that.
Yeah. And plus, I mean, you're also on Neon Sunrise. I'm just looking down here. On Neon Sunrise, you had 5 members in the band. You were a quintet. Now you're a quartet, right?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, we replaced the singer, but the guitar player that quit, we decided it wasn't worth like going on a search and doing rehearsals, because in the studio we felt we didn't need an additional guitar player. We could just share the workload between me and Daniel. But uh, unfortunately, we were wrong about that. So we contacted our buddy Oscar Bromwall, who played on the Weapon album, which I see you're representing. Nice.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So whenever I need a session guitar player, my number one pick is Oscar. So I asked him if he could help us out, because we got day jobs, and it was hard getting it all together. But with him on board, it was super easy, and the quality of work that he supplied, got us all fired up as well.
So you tapped into your network to help get the new Captain Blackbeard album out.
Yeah, so we're 4 members officially,
right?
But on the album, there's 6 members on all the tracks. I mean, Oscar supplied guitar on all the tracks together with Daniel, and there's keyboard player John Lenmy from Night Flight Orchestra on all the songs as well.
And I'm a huge fan of them, by the way.
Yeah.
And that was actually, that was what kind of turned me on to Captain Blackbeard to begin with, was because when I first heard Neon Sunrise, I said, "Oh, cool! It sounds similar to Night Flight, got a similar vibe." And it turns out, you have the singers, you have the female singers come in to do a little extra background there, and you didn't want to poach them. And I don't know that, but that complements it all really, really well. So let's talk about Chasing Danger. And a quick plug before we move on. You've got 2 upcoming live dates, is that right? For Captain?
Right.
We got on April 25th at the Bomber Bar.
Yeah.
And that's in Motala, Sweden?
That's correct.
All right.
Nailed it.
I nailed it. And then on April 26th at the Encore in Stockholm.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are your shows to get out there and see what's happening in your hometown, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the album is being released so close to the summer. It was hard to get a tour together for the spring. And the summer is all festivals, so we're gonna try to book a tour or something for the fall. But we wanted to do a release party, and if we are all getting together to do this release party in Stockholm, we decided to do another show as well while we're at it. So, and we're doing it with our friends Donna Kanon, Björn Strid's 4th band or something like that.
Who's that?
He has Björn Strid from Night Flight Orchestra. He has this band.
Björn. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So
he's the man.
Yeah. And so his band Donna Kanon is gonna tag along on those 2 shows.
Oh wow! So that's gonna be wild. All right.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about. So you got Chasing Danger. I'm looking at the track list here. Dreams is your opener. You got to hook them immediately.
Yeah.
Right? You got to get them with a rocker. And this one, it's also kind of your mission statement, because you got new singer Frederick, and he's in the forefront. So was this song written specifically with his voice in mind?
Yeah, kind of. In the sense that it's quite high.
Yeah.
At first, he said maybe it's a bit too high, and I was like, no, just go for it. People want to hear you scream. You're good at it.
Yeah.
And our previous, I think, 3 albums have had some sort of noise before the first song hit. Like the last album had a keyboard intro, the other one had a car sound and stuff, and the one before had a keyboard intro. So I really wanted to have that as soon as you press play, it's
right.
So if you're sitting with a drink, you're supposed to spill it out.
That's how your mind works. That's how you... That's great.
And I just wanted to surprise, because if it was a keyboard intro, it would be like, oh, that's expected,
Right. And then you don't want to make it too similar to Van Halen's Dreams either. So you got to make it Captain.
That's true.
Yeah. And that's cool. And then you've got When It's Over was one of the early singles. And it's got the 80s style saxophone solo going on there. I love it.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a sax or a horn on? I don't think so prominently on Captain Blackbeard.
No, the last track on Sonic Forces called Emptiness
Yeah.
has a saxophone solo played on a keyboard, with just the saxophone sound.
Right. This is an actual saxophone.
This is an actual saxophone because when we did the demo for this particular song, Eric Modine from Wildness helped me out, and he just spur of the moment decided to add a digital saxophone to the demo. And funny enough, Frederick knows how to play saxophone.
Oh, okay.
So we were like, guess what, Frederick?
Yep.
Bring the saxophone.
Yep. Bust it out of the attic and bring it down, dust it off, and bring it to the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like a happy accident almost.
Yeah. That's good. And so when you have a song like that, baby, it's over tonight. I love it. You really. Do you study some of those great vocal pop melodies of the 80s to try to just not to take the same notes, of course, but just to try to capture the same energy?
I should do that. I didn't do that. I think sometimes it's so much time from the initial idea to the recording that you sort of forget where it came from. I remember, I think I was working, that I drive a train, and I was trying to come up with a hook for a chorus, and I came up with that hook, and I did a demo. I sent it to Modine, and he's a co-writer on it because he made quite a few changes. And I remember, I'm still good friends with Christian. He quit the band, and he was asking. He heard the demo. I was like, "Oh, this is great. Did you write this hook, or did Eric come up with it?" And I was like, I think Eric did like quite a lot of it. And then I played the original demo that I had done, and I pretty much had the hook, and I'd forgotten about it. Oh, I guess I did come up with it. But he made a lot of other arrangements and stuff. But yeah, sometimes I'm not quite sure where it comes from, but it's just trying to find the hook, because that's what I need in a song, a good hook, especially for Blackbeard.
Yeah. Because I feel like Captain Blackbeard is, in my opinion, and I've known you for a couple of years now. We've hung out, and I feel like you radiate so much positivity that Captain Blackbeard needs to be that vessel for the most positive version of Robert that's out there, which is like super positive version.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. You tell me if I'm wrong.
No, that's it. That's true. I try to write different stuff, but usually ends up being pretty fast. And I like when I see reviews and stuff, and they say that the music is joyful, whether it's Blackbeard or Nighthawk, because that's the kind of music that I like, and I don't necessarily try to make it that, but maybe that's what I can do.
Yeah, and there you have it. AI Lover is another single, and tapping into what's driving innovation these days. And oh man, the poor narrator of the song, he can't actually touch her, even though he wants to.
Yeah.
So you were just having fun with the idea for that one, right? Like the concept behind it. Yeah,
in a way, AI Lover is a very new Captain Blackbeard song, in the sense that it's the music comes from Daniel initially, and then Frederick, the newest guy, came up with the lyric and the idea of this AI Lover. So it's a great, I think, example of the band moving forward with these new guys supplying their inspirations, and by also buying into the Blackbeard style, but in their own way. So I love it. I love when everyone's chipping in.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, what's the recording process like for Captain Blackbeard? Are you all together in the studio?
No, we do like all the instruments separately.
Oh wow!
But we record close to where me and Vinny, the drummer, lives, because we live close to each other in Stockholm. Daniel is a bit outside of Stockholm, and Fredrik is on the other side, on the west side, on the west coast, actually, living on an island.
Oh,
literally. Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
So getting him out is a little challenging, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be probably more challenging, but he really suits the Blackbeard brand. He's very optimistic and loves music. And if he tries to find time and he comes out and he does his thing with a smile.
Yeah.
So it's great working with him.
Excellent.
But with that being said, if Fredrik comes all the way from outside of Gothenburg to record some vocals, I try to be in the studio with him at least for a couple of hours so we can hang out. And same with Daniel or Vinny. So we try to hang out a bit.
Yeah, excellent. And it's so great that you kept the machine turning. You kept the wheels turning for Captain Blackbeard. You were steering the ship, and we knew you were going to come out with something because last year you re-released Sonic Forces.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Now that album is the predecessor to Neon Sunrise, for anybody who doesn't know. And so the Sonic Forces re-release was great because that, it helped me get into the back catalog a little bit. You had the instrumental version on there of, was it Headlights?
Yeah. Not just instrumental, it's like a synthwave remix.
Yeah.
And so it's like a cool thing, yeah.
You could play that on its own, and it's a really cool track. And there was also the cover of the older Captain Blackbeard song, "All the Pains," on there too. So that was a really good way to kind of reintroduce the band, so to speak. And so I'm gonna guess that you're still proud of Sonic Forces right over here. It's a great album. I love it.
Yes, I'm probably most proud of the three latest albums.
Yeah.
And as much as it's rough with lineup changes, since there's no bad blood when Martin left it, listening to those songs doesn't bring back any bad memories. It's just good memories. Yeah. And we're making new good memories with Fredrik. So the last three albums I'm really happy with. And I think that's where we sort of found our identity and potential.
Yeah, I would agree. And then my favorite song off of Sonic Forces is "Time to Deliver." I love that one. I write to you. Yeah. I write to you every once in a while, or just because I'm usually listening to it when I'm doing something in the house, but nothing, But I'm not dreading whatever it is that I'm doing, like dishes or something. And I hear that song, I go, "Oh, I gotta write to Robert." I love that song.
Oh, cool! Thanks.
That's a great one. And then there's we'll talk a little bit. I sent you a picture yesterday of the fact that I was listening to Nighthawk in the car on a CD that you sent me. You were very nice. And there will be a new Nighthawk album. I don't want to give anything away you're not comfortable with, but there certainly will be, and Bjorn will be on the mic.
Yes. It was recorded 1.5 years ago.
I know.
and I think the press release will be out any minute. And I've just proofread like the booklet for the CD and all of that.
Okay.
It will be out, I think, in September. I don't have the official dates yet, but Mighty Music will release it. It will be, I think it will be 2 different color vinyls and CD. We did it in Rockfield Studios in Wales, and to me it's the perfect follow-up to the Prowler. Yeah. Same lineup except for the bass player, because Chris from Blackbeard couldn't join us, so Bjorn brought Rasmus from Soilwork and Night Flight.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah, we had so much fun doing it, and I'm just trying to find the time when Bjorn's available to do the next one. I'm just waiting for him.
Amazing. And so we're going to do a follow-up when that comes out, because you obviously big fan of yours. I'm a big fan of Bjorn in Night Flight. So Nighthawk for me is the perfect blend.
Yeah.
And then how are things going with your friends at Metalite? You had some tours. You did some you did some great traveling. You had a great album. And what's going on?
Well, we've been busy touring, as you said. We did 3 tours in like 12 months.
Yeah.
Which was a lot for us anyway, because before that it was the pandemic. Most of us had kids, and so that was a lot for us. But now we're hard at work on the next album, and
Good.
just this morning I added bass to a track. I think Erica has recorded like maybe 8 tracks, and every once in a while Edwin will send me the next track, and I record them at home. And it's a comfortable way of doing it, and we got a new drummer. He's such a great guy. He played with us for the first time on this last tour that we did with Night Flight Orchestra in Europe.
Right.
And he's a great ball of energy that we've added to the band.
Her name was Leah Larson. That she was
right.
The drummer. She left. I remember seeing the announcement there. Yeah. I can only remember so much stuff. I had to look at the booklet here just to
right.
But I had a great time talking with you and Erica and Edwin about that album. So following it up is going to be really tough because you made a really solid release here. I think it was 16 tracks. Is excellent.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
But you know me, I like 10 songs and short songs, so that's too much for me.
I know. You usually go 10 plus maybe 1 or 2 covers, do them fast, and get on to the next one. Which at first, it always leaves you wanting more. So as a listener, I go, "Oh, come on!" And then now I understand your logic a little bit more.
Yeah.
And how was that tour with Night Flight? By the way.
Oh, that was a dream tour. Mostly. I mean, it's not every time you go on a tour that you both like the other band's music. Right, I mean, you can think it's okay, but I'm a fan of Night Flight. I love that. Yeah. And we're also friends. I mean, I recorded with most of them, and one of the singers there, Åsa, is like Erica's best friend.
Right.
So it was like a big happy family going on tour.
Yeah, that's perfect. Excellent. That's so cool. And I'm waiting for the day that Night Flight and Captain Blackbeard can come over to the US.
That would be a dream.
That'd be a dream. I'm telling you. I'd be bringing my whole family because it's one of the few bands that I listen to where my kids can get behind it, and even my wife can get behind it.
Ah, cool.
So that's that'd be fantastic. Do you find that are the crowds enthusiastic when you're going on those tours?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But I really think for the next tour that we should try to go out with a power metal band.
Oh yeah.
And not just do what's most fun for us.
Okay.
Maybe there's tactical ways of doing it smarter. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because the genres are quite different, and not everybody's gonna like both bands.
Right.
But we did get a good reception because both bands have strong choruses, and there's no growling or anything like that. So they bought in pretty good.
That's excellent. All right.
It was. I just have to tell you, it was funny when we did the Metalite interview with you, because usually it's Erica and Edwin doing the Metalite interviews.
Yeah.
And I keep busy with my other stuff. And then I got a text from Edwin. We got an interview, and the guy demands that you're joining us. I'm like, demands? Who's this guy?
I demanded it. I did.
And then I heard it was you. I was like, oh, of course.
Yeah. No, I said, there's no way. Like, look, it helps. It helps with the other musicians as well, just to show that I'm not just some random guy. In fact, I can prove it. I do this every single time, so I'm so sorry, but I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah, I'm not just talking the talk here. We're buds.
Yes.
We're buds. Here we are in December 2023 in New York when you came for the very last Kiss show, right? Or what you thought was going to be.
Yeah, exactly. You said it. Yeah, that was at Tony's at Times Square. It was a great time.
And that was a great day. And we had been talking about it for a while. That's me. that we had eaten, as you can see, family style, and then you could tell by my gut right there. And over on that's my wife there, and then over on my left there's Danny Hines. He's the singer of Weapon. We haven't talked about that yet.
No?
I know
Yeah.
you guys are buds. You're always working on something. Is there going to be a new Weapon album too?
Yes. We finished writing the next Weapon album last fall, and then made some minor tweaks. But I think it was 2 weeks ago, Magnus Ulfstedt, who played on the last Weapon album and on Night Talk, he actually went to the studio and recorded all the drums.
Mm-hmm.
And the guitar players are sitting at their home studios recording the guitar. So the album is being recorded.
Right. So you're the producer on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sort of in the middle, keeping track of everything. But
Okay.
as usual, I always get Sverker if I have anything to say. The producer from Night Talk, who also produced the latest Blackbeard,
Mhm.
because it doesn't matter what style I'm playing, he always makes it sound good. So
There you go. All right, great. So you've got your hands in 4 groups in some capacity, and then there's probably other stuff that I don't even realize, right?
yeah, there's a secret one. I'm
Oh,
gonna send you a link.
Okay. All right. Now,
We don't talk about it. No.
we don't talk about that. But that I'm always on the lookout for that. And one of the okay, so let's break it down for a minute, because you are one of the hardest working musicians I know, because not just because you've got so many different groups, there's so many songs. The songs they're certainly not easy, but on top of it all, you also, like you said, you're a train conductor in Sweden, which is wild. So how do you, and please don't say that the answer is drugs. How do you keep your energy up at this stage in your life? The answer
Well,
can't be drugs. Don't say drugs.
oh no, I'm just kidding. Well, when you said at this stage in my life, I felt like you're getting at that I just turned 40 and I feel very old now.
Oh, really? Well, I just meant
Yeah.
because you're a
No,
dad.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, but it's uh, being creative is what I love, and I'm sort of impatient. So I start a project, and while waiting for it to be mixed or whatever, or other people doing their stuff, I can't just wait for that project to be done.
Right.
That's the problem. I mean, it's almost like a problem for me. I'll start thinking about the next thing, and sometimes it's not even about energy. Sometimes it's annoying to me that I can't just, you know, enjoy what I'm doing, that I'm starting to do more stuff. But I've tried to embrace it, and I think that as long as I can do it in a fun way, just do it as much as I can.
Yeah.
And also, as you said, being a father, sometimes it helps, because if I come home tired and I see my little ball of energy at home, I I see it as a challenge to keep up with it.
I feel the same way. Yeah.
So he keeps me young.
Yep.
And my hair turning gray. He does both.
so that you see it, you're seeing it here and here, but then
Yeah.
little guy running around, you say, okay, let's have an espresso and just get
Exactly.
through it. Yeah.
That would be the drug of choice, coffee.
Right. As was with most people.
Yeah.
And what's so you got these 2 shows coming up. Are these are like album release shows? You're going to play them. I see bands. Okay, so here's the thing. I see sometimes when somebody is doing an album release show, someone else plays the show. It makes more sense to me that Captain Blackbeard would play the show, right?
Right.
Right.
I agree.
So, yeah. So that's cool. And you're gonna be you'll be selling the album. Do you sell the back catalog too? You got like old stashes of copies and things?
Yeah, from the last 3 or 4.
Yeah.
The first 3, I don't think we have any left.
Okay. Is that the one where it's
That's all.
called It's a Mouthful and it's a picture of a woman's butt? Yeah.
Yeah, that one. And the first one is impossible to get. I see it sometimes on Discogs, like crazy expensive.
Yeah.
And you're like, where were you buying this one for all this money when we were starting out?
Yeah.
No one was paying for it then.
I know it's we find these groups a couple of albums in, and then you go, oh my God, they only made 300 copies of this thing. Okay. All right.
It's like when we were on tour, we were in Nuremberg in Germany, and I bought this heavy metal compilation vinyl, and I sent a picture to Danny, and I said, "Look at today's find from the record store," and he's like, "What's that?" I was like, "You should know." It's like, "Why?" Because your song is on it, and their
he
single.
posted about that recently, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
His 1980 single was on this compilation that he didn't know about.
1980?
Yeah.
I wasn't even born yet. There you
Me
go.
neither.
So that's great. So you've got like we said, we got Weapon is going to have a follow-up to Nuclear Power.
Yeah.
And then we've got the brand new Captain Blackbeard album called Chasing Danger.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be a new Nighthawk album that we'll talk about next time. And another project that we're going to keep a lid on. And there's going to be a follow-up to Expedition 1 by Metalite.
Yeah.
And you have to make local stops on the trains that you operate.
Yeah. and then the other day I went to see the Animals.
Oh, really?
And now I want to play 60s music. Right. I don't know what to do.
There's something going on. I don't know. You'll have to maybe that top secret project can bust out some Eric Burden. Who knows? But
that would be something.
So long term for Captain Blackbeard, sounds like you've got the good energy in the band. You think you might do some more shows later this year? Is that possible? Or
yeah, certainly. We're gonna try to put together a small tour in the fall. Because we're so proud of this album. We love it. We listen to it like fans, and we want to give it the proper PR that it deserves.
Yeah.
A lot of people that heard it said this can take you to the next level, and we don't even do it for that anymore. We do it mostly for our own reward. But whatever happens. But we want to give it a fair shot.
Excellent.
And I kind of also, as much as I love it, I can't help feeling like I think we can make a better one if we do another one.
That's what I love about you. You're always you're satisfied with things, but you always want to go a little bit further on the next one. And that's what I love about your work ethic. You Alessandro Del Vecchio is somebody I've interviewed several times. He's got a million things going on. And he has the same mentality. And I think I feel like you have to be that way. You can't just say, okay, well, I did the best thing I ever did 5 years ago, and now I'm just going to go rest on those laurels forever. You want to keep making it good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I think that's the best way to do it. It's probably the best way to live your life too, right?
Yeah. Well, definitely. I try to be like that as a human being too. I try to always find things to be better at,
Right.
Because when you stop learning, I think you will sort of start to decompose or whatever. You gotta always evolve and keep things fresh and interesting.
I agree. Well, Robert Majd, it is always a pleasure to see you, and it sounds like we're gonna talk again later this year. And I'm really happy for you. I'm so glad that Captain Blackbeard continues its voyage. And just keep cranking them out. The album is out now. It's called Chasing Danger. It's available worldwide from Mighty Music. Brilliant people at Mighty Music who keep Robert's music out there for the world. And just keep doing it, man. You're killing it.
Thank you, and thank you so much for your support. And I'm looking forward to an in-person interview in Sweden anytime you want. You're welcome.
Okay, I'll take you up on that one. All right. Special thanks again to my friend Robert Majd for rejoining us here on Jace Media. The new album from Captain Blackbeard is Chasing Danger. It is available everywhere from our friends at Mighty Music. At the top, you heard a clip of AI Lover, and right now you are hearing a clip of When It's Over. And in the interview, we played Dreams and some other clips as well. Check them out. They've also got 2 record release shows coming up in Sweden, April 25th at the Bomber Bar, and that's in Motala, and April 26th at the Encore in Sundbyberg. Sweden. I have no doubt that I mispronounced some of that, but I got the stamp of approval from Robert during the interview. Be sure to check out CaptainBlackbeard.net for more information and follow the band on social. Rock and metal fans will also love his work in Metalite. He's the bassist there. And he's also got another fantastic rock group called Nighthawk, which we discussed. We will have a follow-up in 2025 about Nighthawk and their new album. And like we said, he's also the producer for Weapon. I've got links to all these groups and a link to my last interview with Robert when we discussed Nighthawk. He's a great musician and a great performer, so always remember to make legitimate purchases of the music, merch, and tickets to support hard-working artists like Robert Majd and all of his bandmates. Folks, head on over to the revamped JaceMediaMusic.com page. We've got reviews, we've got interviews, we've got all kinds of great music coverage. Check out some of my recent video interviews with my all-time favorite metal singer, John Bush of Armored Saint and Category 7. The drummer of Category 7 and Shadows Fall, Jason Bittner. Guitar heroes like Herman Frank of Victory. And rock and metal singers like Wade Black. Nick DeSalvo of Elder. Fate's Warning singer, Ray Alder. And members of Avatarium, Masterplan, and more. Special thanks, as always, to our fantastic founder and publisher, Glenn, and all of my Jace Media colleagues. And of course, special thanks to you, the worldwide Jace Media music audience. Look for Jace Media on Facebook and X and Instagram and basically every social media channel you can think of. I am Justin Smolison, proud Jace Media contributor from across the pond. Thank you again for tuning in. Keep coming back to JaceMediaMusic.com. I've got more video interviews on the way.